If you want to see the full animated sequence or the short lead into this TIE Bomber showcase that you just saw, it is an excellent fan-made anime-style short film that I highly recommend you watch, showing the annihilation of a Rebel Alliance fleet by an Imperial strike force. And I'll put a link to the YouTube video for the short film in the description of my video. What you're looking at now, of course, is the beautiful minifigure scale TIE Bomber designed by Jerac with instructions available to purchase on BrickVault. Several people asked me to do a showcase of this model last year, as well as to feature more BrickVault models on the channel, so here we go. This is the third TIE variant model that I've built from the BrickVault lineup, having built the TIE Advanced and the First Order Special Forces TIE. And in my opinion, this TIE Bomber is my favourite to date due to its beautiful details, very clever design, and its large and dominating presence. Something different, I've taken photos of the model from the front, the rear, side, top and bottom. Let's step through these now so you can see this model up close in crisp detail, and I can talk you through several cool features of the model while we go. From front on, I particularly like the details of the missile pod on the right, and the cockpit on the left houses a TIE pilot, but it is a very snug fit and you'll have to remove the windshield and some elements of the cockpit if you want to remove the pilot from the model. From the side, we can see that the solar array or wing panels have that classic angled TIE shape. And if you build this model, you'll be extremely impressed with how Jerac has been able to achieve the angled-in shaping of the wing panels with the clever use of parts and hinge elements in this section to lock in the top and bottom angled panels on both the outer and inner faces. It's extremely strong, so you don't have to worry about this model or those panels being delicate. From the rear, we have some detailing for the twin ion engines on both pods of the model. The central section of the model is extremely strong and is where, as you'll see me do soon, it's best to handle the model. From the underside, there are some nice details, and we see, of course, the bomb deployment mechanism. And finally, from the top, there are some technical details that can be seen, and I'm particularly impressed at Jerac's techniques and use of brackets and sloped elements to get both of the pods of the TIE Bomber to have that correct cylindrical shape and taper in at the rear and also at the front of the cockpit. Well, I always think in these showcase videos, it's very important for me to do a short section where I'm on camera with the model so you can get a sense of the scale and the size of the model. And as you can see, this TIE Bomber is a larger, impressive piece as designed by Jerac. It's also incredibly strong. I can quite easily pick the model up and handle it and swoosh it around, so it definitely passes that swooshability test. But as you can see, even if I'm shaking it, there's nothing sort of loose or flying off. It's incredibly well designed from Jerac to be able to do this for such a detailed and custom model is extremely impressive. Of course, there are a couple of areas that I wouldn't handle the model by, so I wouldn't handle it necessarily by the wing panels, but you could do that. And also the cockpit and rear engine areas are probably a little bit fragile. But other than that, it's a highly swooshable, well-designed and robust model. Now, comparing this model to the TIE Advance, you can see that the TIE Bomber is suitably much larger in scale. And although I haven't yet built Jerac's regular TIE Fighter, I do have the parts to do so. But comparing the Bomber to the First Order Special Forces TIE is going to give you an idea of how the Bomber scales versus a regular TIE Fighter. Now, if you do decide to buy the instructions and parts to build this model, there is one very important thing to note regarding the building instructions. And this is actually the same advice I mentioned for building the TIE Advance in my video for that model. For the TIE Bomber, at building step number 69, you're required to attach the 4 angled wing panel assemblies to the main body wing panel sections. You'll actually find it's almost nearly impossible to connect all of the hinge plate assemblies to the hinge brick elements all in one go, as is illustrated in the instructions. A lot of force is required to snap all the parts together, and you'll find that you'll actually break sections of the model while attempting this. So what I recommend is that you snap in all of the hinge plates to the hinge bricks individually in advance when you're building the edges of the main wing panel assemblies, and angle them to all face directly upwards. And then you'll find it quite easy to attach the plate side of the angled wing panel assemblies to the exposed studs of the hinge plates all at once. If you're new to my channel and you enjoyed this showcase and you've not seen my similar showcase videos for the TIE Advanced model and the First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter, I highly recommend you check those videos out, and I'll put cards up to those videos right now. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, bye for now.